That is beyond annoying already. And I don't even think we have to talk about which World Cup we're going on today, do we? Jesus wept.
I wasn't going to show you that in the warm-up just because just didn't want to show you the warm-up.
Because I told you don't even bring it near us. Yeah, no, exactly. That's unbelievable, isn't it? All right, well, listen, welcome to Wednesday. EPL Across the Ponds. There's going to be plenty of time for that. EPL Across the Ponds World Cup Wednesday. I am Gary. That is Chris with that annoying contraption that he's now got plonked on the desk. I think it doesn't take a genius to work out what World Cup we are going with today. We are obviously going with World Cup South Africa 2010.
Waka, waka, hey, hey.
That song's still going, isn't it, as well, funnily enough?
Well, they sing on the terraces, don't they? Forest had it a couple of years ago. 30 signs don't give, but the Reds are staying up. Hey, I think a lot of clubs have adopted it now. It's annoying.
It's catchy.
It's really
it's catchy is what it is, Chris. It's catchy is what it is.
Catchy like a catch tube.
So, as usual, we're going to talk about the best parts of World Cup 2010. There's a lot of things going on. I've got me little kits lined up again. We've got pictures, we've got goals, we've got clips of things like that. We've got plenty to talk about. This is one of those ones that's still quite fresh in the memory, isn't it? I mean, it's fresh in the memory because I remember the footage, but I can't quite pinpoint where I watched the majority of this tournament.
Was there a lot of adult beverages involved?
Yes and no, but I think it's one of those times where, when you're just so busy with everything. Right. And because of the time difference and everything else, I just don't think I can remember. But I do remember watching a lot of it. I remember the first goal in the opening game.
I moved to Dubai January 2010. So I was actually living in Dubai for it. And this was, about Dubai 15, 16 years ago. Completely different what it is now before all the Love Island people joined it and, became what it was. It was very still much. There wasn't that many Westerners back then in 2010. So it was nice to go to some of the bars or some of the pubs in the hotels, congregate between a couple of expats and enjoy the games. So it was a nice cultured experience in the middle of the desert.
Oh, Kev, I can't believe he's coming at it. He's all the way from New Zealand. He's tuned in and we've gone 2010. He's like, worst World Cup ever. I hope you stay on.
Okay, let's go. We've only been here 3 minutes. Kev, give us a chance.
He might have just dropped off. Who knows? Maybe he comes back. Hopefully he does. But
we'll make it sound like it was a good tournament. We'll exactly. Give it a go.
And as ever, if you do have the inkling and you haven't done already, please like and subscribe on our socials, Instagram, Facebook and YouTube as well. It's at EPL Across the Pond. And this is obviously World Cup Wednesday. So if you could give us a little bit of a follow, that would be great. If you can hear a noise in the background, it's my dog going absolutely bananas. And also, as usual, if you want to get involved and you have opinion, like our boy Kevin, straight in. He basically came in and said, "This World Cup's crap," and then left.
He's gone.
So if you have an opinion,
well, this is honest. He doesn't want to waste the next 45 minutes.
Exactly.
To the worst World Cup ever. It's funny because Rooney's been talking about this World Cup a lot lately, isn't it? Saying how forgettable it was and don't think about it and everything. But obviously, I got the English shirts behind me. You have as well tonight, guys. But we want to put it for a neutral perspective. We're going to talk about these World Cups going over until this summer's World Cup in the USA, Mexico, and Canada. For those guys, if you don't remember these World Cups or you weren't involved in it, we'll give you our own middle-aged opinion of those tournaments, of the best goals, the best moments, the kits, the songs, the mascots, the whole 9 yards. So over the next several weeks, we're going to be picking on a different World Cup tournament each week. I'm going to tell you our little feelings about it, whether we were live or whether we were before we were born and how we discovered it and what we think about those tournaments today. So I think it's a great way for you and I to go back down memory lane, guys. If anybody else wants to come for the ride, more than welcome.
Well, I think the same thing as well. I mean, listen, we've got the England shirts on the wall, and this one, obviously, this is my wife's. It's not me. I was not to put that much timber on, but there's one significant moment as far as England are concerned in this, and it's significant in the sense that it changed a lot with the way refereeing is moving forward. But like, if you're a Ghanaian, you love this World Cup. Not so much towards the end of your games at the World Cup, but if you're Uruguayan, you're all over this. Obviously, if you're Spanish, you're all over this one. The Dutch were brilliant again. Yeah. There was a lot of good teams. There was a lot of upsets. It's not the most promising World Cup if you're Italian or French, but again, there's enough in here for everybody. And the fact that we've got the England shirts on the wall and we talk with the accents, we're definitely not nailing ourselves down to talking just about England. And I certainly don't want to. The first question before we get to our initial our thoughts, and we usually save this till the end, but
mix it up.
The question is, what was the mascot of World Cup 2010? So in about 5 minutes or so, we'll come back to it. But we might have got him back in the room. We've got him back in the room. He's not gone. He's such a tease, this lad. You still have nightmares about that. But hey, listen, we'll give it a go. If you start bowling that Vuvuzela again, he might not even bother with us. But for the time being, we've got him. So nah, don't do it just yet. This was the first World Cup that was in it. So it was in Africa, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm just going to put it there. So when I'm watching the shows back in weeks or years time, and I'm just flicking through, I'm like, what's that thing on my desk? And I'll probably forget all about it and stuff. But ready for the summer. I think the Americans need to know what it's all about, the Vuvuzelas and stuff. Listen, at the time, probably the same as Kev, I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was a crap World Cup. But then in hindsight, when you step away from it and you look back at some of the games, some of the things that happened, France and Italy both finished bottoms of their group. That's pretty unreal. Paraguay, if you followed it, they topped their group. They went to the quarterfinals, and only just went out. There's some great goals, lots of action, lots of talking points. Do we want to go into the whole controversy about the election and how it was bribery and all that kind of stuff? Or?
You can go into that, yes.
Okay.
I think you should. Well, I think it's worth knowing because, again, this might be something that people just don't remember.
Right. So South Africa, first World Cup in South Africa, 10 stadiums, 9 cities. In hindsight, I think they did a fabulous job. It was well done during the time, issues afterwards and whatnot. But this is the tournament where it came out afterwards that there was some bribery going on involved. Now, listen, I think we know with other tournaments, there's always a bit of bribery going on involved and stuff. But this is one that went into the press, into the media. It actually went through court cases and stuff. And it was found that Chuck Blazer from the good old United States of America took bribes to basically sway his vote. The actual winner of the actual country that won the vote to host the tournament was actually Morocco. I don't think many people know that. They won the vote fair and square. But some votes got swayed due to a little bit of financial help, and South Africa got the tournament. And we moved forward, but unfortunately, this didn't come out till a couple of years after the tournament, which ultimately cost Chuck Blazer his job at FIFA and led to his downfall, basically from the soccer world. That's all I got.
That's all right. I don't think that was too libelous. I don't think we're getting too much trouble for that.
No, there was another couple of guys. I won't mention any names.
Let's throw them in there.
Jack Warner was another one who was the Trinidad and Tobago representative who never got officially tried for it. So, but he was named by Chuck Blazer as part of the case and everything. But I believe he carried on working up until only a couple of years ago for the organization. So, hey, innocent until proven guilty. The glove didn't fit Jack Warner, so he was left alone.
All right, well, let's get away from the politics of it and let's get to the ball. Football. Let's get to the ball because that caused murder. That ball, the Jabulani. It caused. Do you ever hit one of those things?
Oh, mate, they
were a horrible ball. It was a horrible ball.
You're still involved in the game, and you play with the latest and greatest balls. I don't. I'd finished playing by then, so I've not played with it on a day-to-day basis, but I did actually have a kick at one of those things. And I think we talked about it was it 2002 World Cup when the balls changed for the first stitchless, seamless ball. It was
06 was the first seamless ball. Yeah.
And it just reminded me of the old airflows down the park on a Sunday morning as a little kid, where you just leathered it and you didn't know where it was going to go. There's very little control over it. We talk about now when players are controlled doing the knuckleball and whatnot. With these balls, you just put your foot through it and who knows where it was going to go. Could swerve to the right, could swerve to the left. Nightmares for keepers. The one that stuck out had nothing to do with the ball was Rob Green's for England against the USA when he's kind of fumbled it and it's gone underneath it, which maybe that's why Kev, doesn't really enjoy the tournament, because that was one dramatic. It wasn't the dramatic England moment of the World Cup. But that was the one that literally, in hindsight, cost England from winning the group, which put them in the harder bracket going forward to the next round. But
no, I know you're digressing again, but like I remember that, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that game, but remember the famous line. Remember the famous line, the New York Post: USA wins 1-1, and it was off the back of that game. I remember that one well.
What's funny is I actually had that newspaper when I was in Dubai, and I tagged it. So every year when it comes up on my memories, that newspaper thing comes out. I'll see if I can find it actually.
Yeah, we've got to find that and get it posted for people who don't. So it was also the first tournament when there was multiple Golden Boot winners.
Yes, so it was. Yes, I'll come back to that. I'll look for that in a second. So we're live, you see. We're live. It's a live moment. So first World Cup where there wasn't an out-and-out winner. And we just thought, if it's like a league, it gets shared. We can't do that in a World Cup. It's got to be a boot winner, not boots winner. So you had basically 4 players that scored 5 goals. You had Muller from Germany, Villa from Spain, Forlan from Uruguay, and good old Wesley Sneijder. What a player he was, Gary. He
had a cracking tournament.
They were all great players, but all had great tournaments. And they all got 5 goals. And it was rewarded to Muller because he had 3 assists. So your golden boot winner was shared, but it was won at the same time.
That is impressive. That's quite knowledge. That just straight off the bat there, Chris.
I like my stats. You're the same as me, Gary. That's why after 23 years of friendship, we have that kind of camaraderie in the little back-to-back because we love a stat.
I don't mind that. And I'm going to go from stats to kits because I love this bit. But before we go to kits, we're going to go to the question. No one came through with it. But what was the mascot of World Cup 2010? Oh, the actual name of the mascot. Do you know it?
Yeah, Zakumi.
Is that because you researched it for the show or just because you knew?
No, I do my mascots. The mascot bit's my bit. And to get really geeky into it, it comes from ZA is the initials for South Africa. And Kumi is 10 in several different African languages. And there is another stat as well. And I don't know the exact date, so don't quote me on this. But the birthday of Zakumi is June 16th or June 24th, 1994, which is when South Africa got its independence.
That is impressive. If it's true, but you like everything.
Can I have a go? Can I have a go now? Is that
quick toot.
Hang on, I've got to put my thing in.
Oh, no. See, no. It's gone now. Moment over.
There we go. That's it. That's enough. It's enough. I'm trying to find this photo for you.
It's painful. All right. Before we go into the kits, the next question is, Spain lost 1 game at World Cup 2010. It was actually the first game. Who did they lose to? Their first game, not the first game, their first game. And who did they lose to?
I think.
All right. Now, this is what I live for on this thing. This is why this is a section for this personally, because I love it. Right. So this is the kits. So I've got up my graphic again. All right. This is the breakdown of the kits for this tournament. If anyone's interested in this kind of thing, right? The breakdown for this was Adidas. Again, usually top of the shop, aren't they? I think they've got 12 on there if my eyes are working properly. Nike had 9. Puma had 7. And then you've got 4 teams there on 1. Umbro being the 1 as well for England. But
yeah,
did you have a favourite off the top of your head? Off the top of your head, do you have a favourite for this tournament?
I like the Dutch one. Because I think that was all where they had the orange shirt. Oh, they had the black collars, didn't they? I thought that was a little tiny shirt. I can't remember now. I'm trying to think. England's had the collar. I like the red one that's behind you. But I think they had the collar on the home shirt, didn't they?
Yeah, couldn't be a bad shout. The shout's gone in there for the Swiss from McKelvey. That's not a bad shout.
The Swiss shirt, or is he preparing to?
No, he's going on the questions. He might like the Swiss shirt. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. We'll get him up now, though. Here we go. Anyway. So this is the first half of them.
Oh, I just found that photo for you as well.
Of course you have. All right. If I'm on this picture, the ones that stand out for me, the England one was all right. It was very basic.
It was. But was it the first one? They had the red numbers and letters on it as well.
It could have been, yeah, because the Umbro sign is red. I like the Japan one. The Japan one is bottom row next to Ivory Coast, in between Ivory Coast and Mexico.
I always like the French kits. I don't know why. I just think the German one was nice. It was very kind of traditional looking.
something about one line that goes down the middle that irks me a little bit. But the Brazil one's always a classic. Those Nike kits, the Dutch one is nice, isn't it?
It's nice. It's just, I think with this tournament, everything looks very clean, doesn't it? I mean, okay, the Denmark one, the Danish one's got a little bit of a Abbey Road kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
The France one's got like some kind of scars and stuff. But I did find the picture for you, so I don't know if I can. Where my camera is. There it is.
That's the one. USA wins 1-1. We're going to fire that up. That's going on the IG soon, isn't it? And on the socials. All right. This is the other half. So you've got on this one, I don't hate the US one, which is the one in the bottom left.
Right.
This might be one of, and I don't know if a friend of ours, Sala Polito, if he's watching this, I can't remember if he says this is one of his favorite US kits. But the away kit, if you remember, and we'll get to the game about the other day, was the one with it looked like the seatbelt. It was navy blue with the white sash coming down it. But I didn't hate that one.
They had a good team back then as well. They had a really good team, USA. It's when Donovan was kind of at his peak.
Yeah, they were a solid side, and it's interesting when we get to the games in a minute and I do like the kits, but we obviously have to move on. I can't just spend the whole day talking about kits. But
we could though. We could.
Well, okay, that's a different game in itself, isn't it? But what we'll do is, in the interests of not boring everyone to death, because I want to keep Kev in the game. The answer to the question, we already had one comment. We have
maybe he'll change his mind. He'll have to keep us posted.
Was Swiss. And then the obvious one was, let's have a look. The answer was, it was in fact Switzerland. They lost 1-0.
Well done. Fernandez in the 52nd minute.
Is that who it was? Yeah. All right. Okay. So before we get to the games, before we get to some significant games.
I just got another stat. I'll get it to when we get to that part of the conversation.
Oh, okay, fair enough. No problem at all.
It's a great stat as well.
Okay, who was the top scoring nation at World Cup 2010?
Collective penalties included or collective goals from open play?
Collective goals, all in, everything. Doesn't include penalty shootouts.
There were some big scores in that tournament. I think Portugal hit 7 in one game. Germany hit 4 in one game. So there's some big scores. Yeah, Portugal 7-0 against Korea. I'm not going to put it out there and stuff, but lots of goals in this tournament, Gary. Lots of goals just flicking through. I don't think there's any 0-0s in the opening games. Oh, there was England, Algeria.
Oh, really? Look at this. By the way, this is unheard of. By the way,
that's it. Oh, yeah. Go on.
Look at this one. Heavy Kev's flying in here. Give me a link. If you give me a link, you want a funny 60-second rant about this. I don't know if I want this or not, but if you know what, Kev, if you want to chuck your email in the comments here, I will fire you a link over and we'll see if we can get him on.
Get him on. We waited weeks for Kev. We waited weeks.
I know. We'll do it.
Heavy Kev to get on the scene.
But before he fires in, all right, let's do this then. We'll go to the games. There's so many we can go for, right? But let's let's get the England one out the way. So that we can talk about the other ones. We've already talked about England 1, USA 1. I think it's worth mentioning as well, though, the USA, is it Algeria? The last group game when they've scored in literally the 94th minute, possibly one of the most iconic USA goals ever. And Landon Donovan has basically
breakaway,
ran from nowhere.
Breakaway.
Yeah, they went on the break. He's had a shot. He's powered it out, and Donovan's hit it in. And again, being a regular in Mulligan's, I wasn't in there that day, but from what I can gather, that place, the roof nearly came off that place. There was just limbs
what's
everywhere.
Wild about that? This is why I really love these tournaments. Last game, if US draw that game, they don't qualify for the next round. They go out. England wins the group. Slovenia comes second, and USA finish third. Landon scores in injury time. They then top the group and go into the easier part of the table. England go down to second, Slovenia are out. So, and that's what's so good. And that's what we'll love about the tournament in the summer, because those last games of the groups, they play them all at the same time. So you're not, the advantage we talk about in the Premier League where one team plays at 3:00 and then the next team plays at 5:00. You're the same time as everybody else, and you play to win it. And that was a great game for the US. They never gave up, and to win a game that meant so much, that puts you top of the group to get to the knockout stages, with the quality of that goal as well. Kev, have I got you yet? Kev? Are you sold?
And listen, I'm
put his
telling you,
email in?
he's not
Maybe
stuck
we'll after that.
the comments just yet, but you never know. All right, listen,
keep looking.
We're going to go for the next one. I'm going to run you this little, are they called GIFs or GIFs or whatever they're called? All right. So England, all right, let's set the scene. England, Germany. At this point, it is 2-1 Germany. This is the round of 16 as well, isn't it? The first game out of the group, they got Germany. And it was pretty neck and neck. Germany had a very good side. Podolski played in that team. Younger Muller was playing. He had some very good players, Closer, Ozil. And it was 2-1, and then this happened.
Muller.
Frank Lampard got a chance, and then this happens. And the ball goes in, it goes over Neuer's head, it bounces over the line, clear as day. And basically what happens is Neuer grabs it, kicks it out straight away. Germany go on the breakdown the other end and have a chance, but by that point, it's all gone. Everybody in the ground was celebrating.
Yeah.
Nobody. It was unbelievable.
I hate to say it, but do you think it's a little bit of justice for 66?
I don't know, but I can tell you one thing, and that's a still of the shot as well, by the way. You can't, this was almost the outcry for the Hawkeye. Before VAR came in, Hawkeye came in straight after, and Hawkeye being the goal line technology with the refs have the watch. But if McKelvey is still watching, he is absolutely dining out on this, because being a Scotsman, he is loving this, and he loves the fact that is clearly over the line.
I watched this game in the Dubai Marina, the Dress Hotel, and there was a room probably about I could say 100 British folks in there, or maybe less than, probably about 50 British folks, about 20 or 30 Scottish, Irish, and Welsh. And then another 20 or 30 Americans and other nations on the top of it and stuff. And it was such a crazy environment. I mean, the game itself, Germany raced to a 2-goal lead. Matty Upson, I think it was, pulled one back for England. That great centre half, Matty Upson.
Yeah.
And then 37 minutes. This was literally like a minute after Upson had scored, because Upson scored in the 37th minute. And here we are, not even a minute later, a minute and a half later. That goes in 2-2. You get 2 goals.
There you go.
It was close, wasn't it?
Very close. Yeah, very close.
Very, very close. Maybe it was the angle. Could have been the angle of the camera. We just don't know.
Yeah, but, those ones that are right directly on the goal line, it's tough to tell, isn't it? It's tough to tell. You can't really get a gauge.
If England scored 2 goals in 2 minutes, game's on. And I mean, they ended up getting battered in the end. They really did get picked to pieces. But those kind of games, from a psychological point of view, when those things happen in games, there's an element of frustration amongst the players where you got to get over it, right? You got to block it out and move on. And I think that first half, Germany had like another 3 or 4 more chances, and in the second half they put the game away 4-1 all over.
Yeah, I think it finished 4-2, didn't it? But England were just done by the end of it.
4-1, Gary. I got the official data in front of me now.
Are you sure? I thought it was 4-2. I swore it was 4-2. No. All right, this game wasn't great. But this goal is just, for me, is just one of those iconic goals as well. So Brazil played essentially North Korea. I think wasn't it like Republic of Korea or something like that?
I know where you're going with this one. I know where you're going to go.
The game finished 5-1 or 5-0. I think it was 5-1. And Maicon, who was the right back at the time, I'm not sure where he was, but I know he was at Inter for a moment, scored from there.
Maicon.
And there's that ball again, right in the middle. But like he's managed to get his foot round the ball and just whip it. Where the goalie is going, I don't know. He's gambled so badly there.
Well, you think he's coming out, doesn't he? He thinks the cross is coming in. He's about to go and run and get it.
Yeah, he gambles like I do. He gambles like I do. Shocking. And would it shock you to know that I've scored a goal like that, Chris?
No, because I was watching one of your other podcasts when you were talking with one of your friends about how you could strike a ball. And Gary, you could strike a ball. I'll say that. I've witnessed it. I mean, it was 23 years ago, but you had the technique, head over the ball, went through with the laces, and it was a tiny strike. It was a tiny strike.
Oh yeah. So just so we know,
little worm burner.
That's me. That. All right. Anyway, let's get off that one. So, do you want to talk about the fact that Italy finished bottom of the group and got done by Slovakia?
Yeah. So, I mean, some crazy games in this group. So, one of my games of the tournament was Slovakia 3, Italy 2. And again, Italy weren't favourites going into that tournament, but it's the Italians. There's always an element of expectation for the Italians to do something when they're in a tournament, right? So they started off okay, drew with Paraguay. Then they drew with New Zealand against the run of play. So it comes down to the last game of the tournament, or the last game of the group stages. You win, you go through. And they lost. They lost to Slovakia. And the crazy thing, if they'd have drawn that game, they would have finished second. Slovakia would have finished fourth. But that's the beauty of these things. And it was a kind of a backwards and forwards tussle. Just a great game of football. That's why you love these tournaments, Gary, because first games of tournaments, so you're playing a 3 in a group stage. First game's always a bit conservative, right? That's where you see a lot of draws, or sometimes a little bit of a few upsets, because the favourites sometimes play a little bit defensive, and the lesser teams go for it a little bit more. And sometimes you get the surprise, which we saw with France, with Spain, and a few other teams as well. Then the second game, you're warming up. But that third game of the tournament, it's do or die for a lot of these teams. And Italy didn't make it. And France didn't make it in their side of things as well. And I'm sure this summer could be England. There's going to be a couple of teams that just don't get out of the group stages. Then it's
there always isn't there. Like 2014 was England. England always have an excuse to get us something. But like you're right, because even with France, they were having murder before they even went, didn't they?
They're similar to the Dutch. Players had gone on strike and they were arguing in the camp. I think it was Evra, the racism talk and this, that, and the other, and the different groups. There's a big divide in the groups, in the team and everything. And go back to England, what we now know about England, and there's always been the divide between the United players, the Liverpool players, the Arsenal players, the Chelsea players. They just couldn't bond within the group, right? They just couldn't bond as a team to be successful. Well, France have had it a different way with the racism that's gone amongst the camps as well. So they've had a different kind of divide, and that would just basically set them off from the start. And they still had a great team back then as well, guys. They still had a really, really good team with some really good players. But from the get-go, they just couldn't get on and conquer, as you say, and it shows in the results they had.
Yeah, it does. Definitely does. All right, I've got one more game for you before we get to the final.
Go on.
And it is Ghana 1, Uruguay 1. And it was in the quarterfinals, am I right?
Hit him in the face,
quarterfinals.
And hit him in the face.
And this was one because Ghana, this is the furthest an African country had got, am I right? At this point? Because obviously Cameroon, Ghana were like the flying the flag for the African continent, because they got this far in South Africa. They had some top players, and we'll get to players that got to move, but they had Asamoah Gyan, who was a big, powerful forward, and he was like their star man.
He was the catalyst, wasn't he?
Yeah, he really was. And then, and they were all over him, and then it's 1-1, and it goes to extra time, and in the last minute of extra time, I'd say he's little known at that point. Actually, yeah, he probably was one. He was known, but not overly known.
Yeah.
Luis Suarez for Uruguay jumps up and tips the ball over the bar in the last minute.
It's going in. The ball's going in the back of the net.
It's a hell of a save.
It's a hell of a save. One of those where I think it's instinct, isn't it? He's not. It's kind of like he's just thrown himself. Instinct. It's gone. It's tipped it over and it's gone out for a corner, and then obviously the ref gives a penalty and it's a straight red card. There's nothing you can do about it.
But then, saying that now, though, it's instinct. It's instinct. Now you know about Suarez and everything else that's gone on with him over the years. I think he's one of the best, the most exciting players that Liverpool have ever had. And he's gone on to do it at Barcelona. He's not so quick now when he's at Inter Miami.
You and I could keep up. But it's another stat that we had on the Thursday night show when we talked about Fernandes. Is he good enough to win Player of the Year without winning the league? Luis Suarez won Player of the Year in the Premier League without winning the title for Liverpool. So the funny thing is with that game as well is Ghana actually beat the United States after extra time in the last round of 16. And we talked about, if the England game and this kind of thing, it's like if England win the group, they play Ghana. Could they have gone through against Ghana? United States almost went through against Ghana, went out after extra time. So that's what you love about these tournaments. There's so many what ifs, if this happened and that goes over there. And if this kind of, if they'd have drawn in that group stage, they'd have gone in the bottom half of the table, the knockout table instead of the top half. And it's just fascinating. But yet, up steps your man Gyan to send his team to the semi-final of the World Cup against the Netherlands. And what happened, Gary? And what happened?
Missed it, didn't he? Missed it. Didn't he belt it over the bar?
Yeah. Sky, how'd you like your bacon? Lean back.
Oh my God, yeah, he did, didn't he? And then they got beat on penalties. That was it, wasn't it? That was the moment, and they got beat on penalties.
That was the moment. He actually scored his penalty. He actually scored his penalty though. Out of the 5, he was one of the actual ones that actually did score.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough, was it? So then Uruguay go into the semi-finals, and we get to the final, and we're going to get to that in a second. But before we get to that, we're going to go through our next question, which was, who was the top scoring nation? We didn't have any comments in there, but who are you thinking?
It wasn't England. I would have thought Portugal, because they beat what's-its-face 7-0, and they scored a ton of goals, but they did go out in the last group of 16. Germany got a few. I'd probably say Germany. Yeah, Germany. Just because they battered, they had a 3-0, they had a 4-0, scored 3. Do we count the third round playoff? Sorry, the third place playoff.
Yeah,
that counts, right? Because scored 3 in that, and Portugal went out 16. Argentina went out. Spain didn't score that many goals, did they? They did the old 1-0s.
I think they just 1-0 the way all the way to the final.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. 1-0 in the 16, 1-0 in the quarters, 1-0 in the semi, 1-0 in the final.
All right, okay.
Wow.
So, and it's worth noting that I don't tell you these answers before because I'm a little
because he wants to show me up.
Yeah,
these questions.
Yeah, Magnus Magnusson. I'm here, Magnus Magnusson over here, the baldy version. All right. So before, that sounds about more on brand. All right. Okay. Last question before we get to the final. Who won the tournament's golden ball for best player? We talked about the 5 people that kind of split the golden boot with the one denominator of more assists, but who won the golden ball for the best player? Fire those answers in the comments if you can think of who it was.
So without who, obviously you know the answer, Gary, and maybe it's not the group. Who's your favourite player of that tournament?
I like Wesley Sneijder.
I was going to say Sneijder as well. Yeah, when you look back on that tournament, they came so close, didn't they? The Dutch, they came so close, and I honestly thought that final, it's going to be the Netherlands' year. I know Spain had a fantastic team, but I actually just thought this sooner or later the Dutch are going to win this thing, right? They have to. And
they were a team as well. Like, and you look at the players in that team, it was a good team. Like they've missed out on a couple. They struggled at other tournaments before that. It was the 3rd time they got beat in the final. So obviously you've got that 3rd time lucky thing about it as well. And it was a good game. It was a crazy game. Like, I've got the one thing what stands out to you most about that game? There's a couple of bits.
Kung Fu Panda, Schneider's miss.
Yeah, this is what got me. This is what got me straight away.
Oh,
now for the people who haven't been watching football for that long,
this is illegal.
This wasn't a red card. Like De Jong he gets booked for this. He doesn't get sent off. This game had 14 yellow cards and 1 red card, and the red card came as a double yellow. Johnny Heitinger got sent off in extra time, but this was I think this was early on enough in the game, and he got a yellow card for this. He didn't get.
Can you remember who the ref was, Gary? Can you remember who the ref was?
Was he English, the ref in this?
Yeah.
Who was it? Paul, the big fella?
Nope.
Who was it?
Hang on, just confirming.
Oh boy, here he is.
I just want to double check because I think it was Howard Webb.
Howard Webb. Is he the big baldy fella?
He's the big baldy fella.
So, okay, he's done well there, hasn't he, old Webbo?
But to be fair, this is again, if you're watching football now and you weren't watching football back in 2010, this is pre-VAR. There wasn't any replays. The game was played at a hell of a pace. And that was, like you say, that was fairly on in the World Cup. And you've got to have some jambalas to send someone off in the first, 10, 15 minutes of a World Cup final.
Yeah.
And I think it was, he probably wanted to. I think he's talked about this after on another podcast that he probably should have sent him off, but maybe he's overawed by the moment.
Again, it's a thing though, isn't it? It's like it's one of those where hindsight's 2020, And
Right.
given we don't know what we don't know, like even the Germany one, listen, you don't know what you don't know. Like if a ref can't see that and the linesman can't get to the line fast enough, he hasn't seen it now. That one's a clear and obvious one. This one is obvious, but you don't know, is he blocked? Is he shielded? Like there's so much going on and you've not got someone in your ear telling you. Whereas now, we talk about this all the time. Like, where's the accountability?
Right. Right.
You know, in the past, they didn't have it.
And a lot of that is a little bit reactions as well. It could be reactions seen as maybe the referee's at an angle where he thought he's kind of like maybe blocking himself, and that's his stance to come up. But he's giving it the old Hulk Hogan's in the middle of the chest, and it's that's gonna stick. I think they showed it afterwards, and they pulled his shirt up, and it was
it was just like he had the full studs all up. Yeah, it was an absolute beast.
I don't know if you can put that picture back up, but just look at Van Bobbel's face. That's literally the other Dutch player. It's like he's gonna get it. Xavi and Iniesta behind it as well. They're like, is he going to die? Is he just killed him?
But even this picture, though, look at the quality of players in this game.
Yeah.
De Jong was at the top of his game there. Van Bommel was a quality player for Holland. You've got Xabi Alonso, Xavi Hernandez, and Iniesta all in the same shot. It's an unbelievable group of players, and that's what this final was. It was only 1-0, but it had so many chances, and you just think about Robben's chance in the second half where he's gone through. And Casillas has come out and just made himself big and made that save. Like you'd have put your mortgage on Robben at that time because he was flying, wasn't he?
I think if you look at those two teams, you hit the nail on the head. Is if you look at who were the best players in the world at that time in those positions, majority would have been either from Holland from the Netherlands or from Spain. If you put the teams side by side, the world 11. It's going to be made up probably from those two teams. You probably had a few others that wouldn't have, from talk about Muller, the top scorer, and 3 assists and everything. He probably would have made that starting 11. But out of the top scorers, David Villa, Wesley Sneijder, two of the best players on the pitch for those two teams. So great final, Gary. And again, I think it's one of the things I want to really push on as we talk about these tournaments as well as looking at now from maybe Kev can do this from a neutral's point of view. When you talk about some of the great goals that were in those tournaments, some of the great players that you just forget about, people forget about in the quarterfinals, Germany routed Argentina. Was that Maradona's Argentina? Was that this tournament?
Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it?
And you've got, nobody would have called that before the game. And then Germany going into the semi-finals after a 4-0 rout of Argentina, you think, all right, they're going to give him a game. They're going to give Spain a game. Spain get another 1-0. That'd be a good stat, wouldn't you? As a team gone from the round of 16 to the final and won every game the same score.
I feel like you got the answer for this or no?
Yeah, Spain, 2010.
That's fair. Did you know this one? Here's a stat for you. Like Timu Stato.
Go on then.
First time. Timu Stato. The first time since 1974 that a nation has had World Cup and the Euros at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Is that worth a toot?
It was
that's good, actually. That sounds a lot like Coco the Clown or something like that, to be fair. All right, okay. So Spain.
You didn't give the answer. You didn't give the answer. You just asked me a question.
We're not done yet as well. Well, go on.
You just asked me about obviously Spain had it.
Oh, go on then. Oh, yeah, no, go on. Yeah, so first team since 1974 to hold the World Cup and the Euros at the same time. Who was the other team?
It was the Kaiser. It was beautiful Beckenbauer with the Germans.
Yeah, it was. Now, was it 72 and 74 or 74 and 76?
When did Czechoslovakia win it? Did Czechoslovakia win it in 76?
It could have been, yeah, actually. That's the first Panenka, isn't it, as well, that one?
Yeah.
All right, we'll look that one up. We'll get it in the things.
I'm looking. What do we say?
Kev, 76? We need to get you. Kev, all you have to do is send us a link or send me your email in this chat and I'll fire you a... I won't put it up on the screen.
76 was Czechoslovakia beating Germany.
All right, so the answer to this, I know at some point, if we can't get him today, we'll get him next week, defo. All right, okay. So the question before the final was, who won the tournament's golden ball for the best player?
What defines the best player? I'd have said Schneider, if I'm honest.
I would have said Schneider, but then when I'm thinking about it now, I know it makes sense now who it was. It was Forlan for Uruguay. because he did have a good tournament. Remember, because he was
top scorer.
He was garbage at Man United for ages. Then he scored those 2 goals against Liverpool. And then he was playing, and then he went to Villarreal and he was flat. Did he go Villarreal after Man United?
I can't remember now.
That's a great question. We'll throw that one out to someone. But we'll throw that one in the chat. All right, before we go, because I think this is important as well. We talked about the final and everything else, but this is. We were reading this before the show. This is some lineup of people. Oh, you know what? He has shown me. This is some lineup of people to get a move off the back of this tournament. I know we talked about that a little bit, but we got
we talk about a lot of time on the shows, like World Cups. It's the catalyst for a lot of these players that, you talk about scouts from the elite clubs that go around the world. They look for the best talent and everything. The World Cup's the best place to showcase the talent. So you'll find players that either play for teams that are lower league teams or obscure teams that won't be on people's radars. All you've got to do is have a couple of good games and you're going to get a move off the back of it. And we've seen it every single tournament. This tournament, however, is wild for players.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Do you want me to read you some off? I've got one for you. All right, ready for this?
Go.
Mesut Ozil goes to Real Madrid off the back of this tournament.
Yeah.
Okay. Asamoah Gyan, all right, not as glamorous, but he goes to Sunderland and has a massive impact off the back of this tournament. You've got Edinson Cavani went to Napoli off the back of this tournament. Alexis Sanchez went to, hang on a minute, he went to Barcelona off the back of this tournament. You've got Sami Khedira went to
Madrid.
He went to Madrid off the back of this tournament.
From Stuttgart, yeah.
You have Ramirez going to Chelsea off the back of this tournament. You have Otamendi going to Porto, which eventually turns into Man City, a move down the line. You've got Javier Hernandez.
The little P.
The little P goes to Man United. And you've got David Villa goes to Barca as well off the back of this tournament.
All right, I've got one for you.
Is this the start you've been waiting all the time?
This is the start I've been waiting to do. You'll probably think it's a bit lame and everything, but who did we say Spain lost their opening game to?
Switzerland.
And can you remember the name of the scorer from that game, Gary?
Didn't you say Hernandez?
Fernandez got a move from St. Etienne on loan to Chievo off the back of this. He also played in the Premier League. Not the Premier League, in the Championship for Leicester.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Listen, speaking of mic drop, are you ready for this one? This is the biggest mic drop we've got all night.
Go on then.
All right, Kev.
Yay! Can you hear us all right, man?
I can hear you, mate. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. You guys are on at a really good time because it's like 1 o'clock on Thursday afternoon here, so it's freaking awesome. All my mates in the UK, it's all in the middle of the night crap.
Beautiful. There he is.
I'll be short because I know you guys are on limited time, but just to give you my recollection of that World Cup final. Okay, I had a 2-year-old son. Okay, my wife who's from Middlesbrough, was heavily pregnant, and my second son was born about a week after the World Cup final. My wife from Middlesbrough I'm playing these games in the middle of the night and hearing those fucking Vuvuzelas, and you can imagine my freaking wife coming out at 4 o'clock in the morning going, what the fuck is that fucking noise? It sounds like a fucking bees buzzing. So then my 2-year-old hears that, and so every time he hears me playing a game, he starts screaming because he thinks there's a pack of bees flying down the hallway. My wife, who's due to have my second son, is like, what the fuck are you doing with that fucking noise in the middle of 3 o'clock in the morning, New Zealand time? And so I basically had to watch all the games with no sound whatsoever. And there was no YouTube alternate commentaries or anything.
Right.
It was full Vuvuzela at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was just completely screwed it for me.
So No, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, and trying to watch New Zealand. Chris Wood, 18-year-old.
Yeah, well, that's a start. That's
that is a great shout. Yeah,
legend, man.
Beautiful
And
stuff.
He's going to be playing at the World Cup next year. He's just come back with the Forest under-21s.
Yeah, he scored. He scored the other night as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll be at the World Cup this year. Yeah. But
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Kev, must ask before we go. What's the Palace link?
Oh, okay. I've been a Palace fan for 50 years.
Ooh.
Believe it or not.
Back to the Terry Venables days.
Yeah. Vince Hilaire, Kenny Sampson, all those legends. Okay. Believe it or not, do you know Sabutio?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Me and all my mates when we were 12-year-olds we just started playing football and we all played Sabutio. And I was really good at painting miniatures.
Uh-huh.
And all my mates were supporting Arsenal, Man United, Spurs, just all the, standard teams. And I had to have a team to play Sabutio with. And there was no internet back then, but we used to get Shoot magazine, and Palace had this black guy, Vince Hilaire, and I could paint. And so I bought basically a white team and painted the evil red and blue sash down the side of it. And I could do that with one hair on a brush. And so I painted up Crystal Palace. It's a Sabutio team. And
do you know what's amazing about this is, like, from Gary and myself, we talked about this before. When we were growing up in the north of England or England, it was either Match magazine or Shoot magazine.
Yeah, Shoot magazine.
I was Match. I never got into Shoot. Match was my jam kind of thing. And then Sabutio, that was for any kid of the 80s.
Yeah.
That was their thing. It was amazing stuff.
I used to get the Shoot magazine and cut the team titles out, like the little names that were printed in the match days, and stick them on the bases of my Sabutio players. So yeah. And back then, no match of the day down here. Black and white TV, one channel. So it was getting up at 7 o'clock every Sunday morning and BBC World News. Here are the British football results. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 2.
I love it.
Yeah. So that was but the other thing is that, like, I'm a Kiwi, but there's so many English guys. All my mates, well, not all of them, but half my mates were born in Luton or Nottingham, or my wife's from Middlesbrough, London, Birmingham, Manchester, whatever. So there's so many English people down here.
So did you meet your wife down there, or were you up in the UK?
No. I met her. I auditioned her for the singer of my band. And yeah.
So much here, Gary. There's so much here.
Kev, we're going to continue this with you.
Yeah. So I playing in like a trip hop band, like Massive Attack type music, and yeah. And so I met her auditioning here. So it's a long story.
Gary's got another show that we could.
Mate, I'm gonna reach out to you, Kev. Now I've got your email.
Yeah, sure, send anything. But yeah, I know you guys we were talking about the World Cup, but like I say, my first World Cup, 78 in Argentina, I've watched all the World Cups since, but that one was a complete write-off from just due to that fucking Vuvuzelas crap.
We're gonna have to play
I just before you came on, I thought I'll go back and watch the New Zealand versus Italy highlights.
Right.
And I put that on YouTube, and as soon as that Vuvuzelas started up, man, I went straight into PTSD.
PTSD came in, you go flashbacks.
Yeah.
Brilliant, Kev. Brilliant.
We're sorry to do that to you, Kev. Yeah, Kev, we'll be in touch, mate.
Yes,
Thanks
Kevin.
very much.
Yeah. Great. Take care.
That's the best part of the day. Thanks, one, Kev. Thank you so much, mate. Have a good one.
Up the Palace.
There you go. Can't get him off.
That was quality. Listen,
Done now.
right, I don't think we could go anywhere after that, mate.
No.
That was spot on. All right, listen. So again, tomorrow, tune in. I love that heavy Kev, mate. Tune in tomorrow. We've got well, it's going to be the Thursday preview show, but it's going to be a little bit of a reflection more than anything else, right? With the international break.
Different. Yeah. So I mean, World Cup's tomorrow. There's some. If you're watching tomorrow, Italy are in action. Ireland, Northern Ireland in action. Wales in action. It's the last qualifying rounds for last chance playoffs or whatever they want to call it to get to this summer's World Cup. So Italy could be out. Italy might not be in the tournament this summer.
I can't see it. But we'll see what happens. But listen, in the meantime, again, thank you for tuning in. Thanks to Heavy Kev for we finally put a face to the name. Man's lying on his couch with his Palace shirt on in New Zealand on the Thursday morning. Brilliant. If you haven't done already, please like and subscribe on our channel, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at EPL Across the Pond. This has been World Cup Wednesday. Oh, I'm made up now, mate. I've made up.